Brother Julian, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I'd like you to share with me your story. How did you make this journey to Islam?
I think it started from when I was a young child. So I was raised as I think a Catholic or Christian, I don't even know. But my grandmother used to always pray with me. I went to church and things like that. So I've always had this notion of, or like the concept of a creator was always in my life. And then I became older, and then yeah, when you get older, you kind of like see different things in life. So it faded a bit to the background, but there always was belief in my life. And then, subhanAllah, I just got surrounded by Muslims, but I didn't want to know anything about Islam.
Was that at school?
Yeah, it was at school, at my internship as well, because I worked in like a big playground for children. And there were a lot of like Muslim parents who brought their children there. So yeah, sometimes you get into a conversation, they always talked about Islam with me, but I always like fended it off for some reason. So
But what was the critical moment in this journey when you were attracted to Islam?
I think the critical moment for me was when I became interested, when people didn't tell me about it, but I wanted to know about it. Because when I was in uni, I had Muslims in my class, and I just didn't understand why they would limit their lives. You know, for example, the women wear hijab, the praying, the not drinking alcohol, like things that I was used to. I didn't understand why they had the discipline, or they didn't feel the need to do any of those things. So for that reason,
they seemed constrained.
Yeah, I was the one that was constrained, but they limited their lives. When I had this do you know YOLO? It's like you only live once. It's like this thing that people say to live your best life. I had this YOLO concept, you only live once. So
you know, I always question this saying, because people say, oh, you live only once, so you have to enjoy yourself.
yeah,
Actually, it's the opposite. If you live only once, that means you have to live responsibly.
exactly.
If you think about it.
If you think about it.
Yeah. You won't get another chance. And this is what Allah tells us in
Al-Quran,
that this life is for tests.
Yeah.
And if you fail the test, there is no coming back.
Yes, exactly. And that's a scary thought.
Very scary.
It's a very scary thought. Yeah, I mean, we're being fed with all of these things that, you know, speak to our desires. And especially I was very young, because I became Muslim when I was 19. So I think especially that age, a lot of Western people who don't have faith in their lives, that's the moment where young men, they go out and about and they do all sorts of things that, you know, they really shouldn't be doing. But alhamdulillah, for some reason, I got blocked off by that, because 19, 20 is the time that I became Muslim.
You went at university then?
Yeah, I went to, I don't know what it is in the Netherlands. You have like high school, and then you have university, and then you have something after. Like this, the school system is different here. But it's like one stage before getting your bachelor's or master's. So
now, your grandmother was religious.
Yes.
What about your parents?
My dad is not religious, but his mother is a Jehovah's Witness. And I think he had bad experiences with her being very strict. And so he wasn't against religion, but he wasn't interested. I think he wasn't really thinking about it. And then my mother, she has always been religious. Like, it's not really, she believed in a creator. All of us, we always believed in a creator, but we didn't have the guidance or like the necessary means to really see what practicing or believing in one creator actually looks like.
So when you took the step and embraced Islam, What was the impact on them?
At first, they thought it was a joke. They didn't really take it seriously.
Because you were young? Because you were young.
And I feel like they think I was all over the place. So it's probably just a phase. So yeah, at first they thought it was a joke. Then they became shocked because they saw the impact. I'm very passionate. So at home, when we would have dinner, the conversations would be about hadith. It's crazy because they don't believe in it, but I was so passionate and so...
you talked to them about it.
Yeah, I was talking to them about when a fly goes into the water, what you should do and stuff like that.
Out of all hadith.
Yeah, just things like that. And yeah, sometimes I will get a bit frustrated because when you believe in something and you just don't understand how like other people around you cannot see it. Yeah, sometimes the conversations will get a bit heated. But they always made room for me to be who I am or like to express.
That's good.
What I believed in.
So they tolerated you?
100%. They were even very, what's the word again? Supportive. Even because I took my shahada at a Turkish mosque. And then I basically wanted to set a date because I wanted my friends and family to be there as well. And the imam told me, like, just take your shahada now, and then we'll set another date where your friends and family, they can attend as well. And then my friends and family, they attended, I think 2 weeks later, in which my mom, she came there, she had a hijab on and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, mashallah, in the masjid. So
this is very unusual, by the way.
Very, very unusual.
I've interviewed quite a few brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
I don't remember that any of them ever told me they invited their families to attend.
Yeah. I had a whole crowd just. I think we even took a picture. It's like a whole line of people and me in the middle with my jalaba on, just smiling away.
And you had friends as well.
Yeah, so friends and family. My mom. My mom and my dad, they divorced when I was young, so my mom remarried. And he's I think he was like an atheist, and he's shifting a bit to there's probably something, but I don't really wanna, or I don't feel the need to figure out what it is. He attended as well.
Your stepfather?
Yeah, my stepfather. I think my sisters were there. It's like the whole bunch.
And how is your relationship with your family now?
You know what they say, that Islam brings you closer. So my relationship with my family is good, but I feel like even before you become Muslim, there's always things that happen in your life, in terms of like upbringing and things that sometimes made the relationship quite difficult. And so sometimes it switches a bit from rocky road to a better place. But alhamdulillah, we're going upwards now. But Islam definitely brought us closer in a different way. It's like there's another type of love,
Do you ever invite them to Islam, or are they at all intrigued about it?
So, yes, they were, but I never knew that they were. So, my mother, she took her shahada.
Oh, she embraced Islam.
Alhamdulillah, she embraced Islam. I think 3 years after I took my shahada, or like 4 years after I took my shahada.
MashaAllah.
I had some friends from London coming to the Netherlands for a conference. And my family invited them over for dinner. And then, subhanAllah, at the end of the night, my mom was taking her shahada. I don't even understand how or...
Those friends were Muslim?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Yeah. They're Muslim. And yeah, we just had conversations over dinner. And then at the end of the night, she testified that there's no God but Allah. Subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Subhanallah. In the beginning, she was very supportive, and then she embraced Islam.
Yeah. But it's crazy because I remember in our house we had this cross hanging, like the cross, and every night when I walked past it, I felt, I don't know, I didn't like it, and so I understand that sometimes I kind of forced my beliefs and my thinking onto them, and I thought it would drift them away. But that's how you know, or you can see that Allah guides who He wills.
Yeah, it's true.
So even when my mom disliked that, you know, for example, I wanted to have my way, she understood why, and she still embraced Islam.
And any other members of the family?
Yeah. So I have two sisters. My youngest sister and my cousin, they came here in the Middenweg for Bekeerlingendag. It's like Revert's Day. I invited them, and even again before I knew it, I lost them, and they sat in the room the room next to this one with one of the brothers, Mustafa Sert. He's really a da'i, like he takes a lot of shahadas. I lost them, and I found them in the room with Mustafa, brother Mustafa, and they came out of the room as Muslims.
MashaAllah.
Yeah. And then my other sister as well. SubhanAllah, so there was one night I started praying Qiyam, and I basically always asked for Allah to guide my whole family. And that night I remember specifically I was asking for Allah to guide her because my youngest sister already took her Shahada and my mom already has. And then I went the same day, I went to pick her up in a different city with one of my friends. We sat in the train, and I'm not kidding you, subhanAllah, within the 24 hours, let's say 12 hours, she also took a Shahada.
MashaAllah.
And I did not know that she was interested. If anything, I thought that was not something that she would be into.
Well,
yeah.
It's a work of Allah.
Exactly. Yeah.
من يهد الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. He whom Allah guides
No one can
is the one guided.
Yeah.
Now you embrace Islam as a young man. I mean, quite young, 19.
Yeah.
Did you have difficulty changing your lifestyle, or that wasn't a problem?
You know, it wasn't a problem until everything becomes normal. I think a lot of reverts have this it's like a revert high, to say it. Like you're passionate, like everything is new. It's like when you're a young child and you see something new and you're really into it. Everything is very easy, at least for me. Everything was very easy, but I think during the years, sometimes I did have some struggles because, you know, being a revert, I feel like a lot of people think like being a revert makes you perfect and makes everything easy, when in reality, I think you have different battles that you have to face, you know? Mm-hmm. Old habits, but even like non-Muslim family members or like old friends, or like, I know for myself, I need to be around Muslims. Like, you know, there's a saying like, I think it's something like you're as strong as your group is, or like the people that you associate with. And so for me, I know for me it's very important to be around Muslims because it keeps me in check as well. Because I moved to London a few years ago by myself, and I realized that was difficult for me. I didn't have my I have the people around me who, you know, would check up on me or like take me to the mosque or like do things with me when I needed it to. So yeah, sometimes I do struggle a bit. It's obviously it's like the praying. Like I've always been regular with prayer, but yeah, sometimes you get distracted.
We all have these struggles,
and that's the thing.
That's natural, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, even people who are born as Muslim, that doesn't mean they are not be tested or.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now, you work with ex-convicts?
Yes.
Many of them Muslim?
Yeah. There's a lot of Muslim brothers who need to reintegrate into society again.
What do you do exactly?
So I work in like like a big house, and we basically take people in who got out of the system, or like the what's the word, the justice system,
Yes.
and they want to reintegrate, so they want to get their life back together again.
They would have spent some time in prison.
Yes. So they have passed that whole traject is. They've passed all of that, so they're basically clean now. They do need to.
They did their time and they're out.
Yes, they did their time and they're out. And we do have some Muslim brothers.
This can be a good opportunity for da'wah.
100%. I remember there was one Somali brother. He was homeless for a very long time, and because he was homeless, he started, doing drugs, and then started stealing, and that got him into prison. And then he came out, and he really wanted to change. So I said to him, let's just start praying together. So during my shifts, we would just pray together, or like I would take him to the mosque. We would just go there, come back, and that did a lot for him, to the point that some people said that usually he would run away. He would go back to the life that he knew. But this time he really wanted to stay steady, and he really felt like this was his moment where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him an actual chance to better and change his life. And so I do feel like those things help. And there were other people as well. They weren't Muslim, but because they saw us pray, they wanted to join.
Really?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Any stories of people embracing Islam?
No, what they were interested. One of them said that my God is Allah. That's what he said. But there's no actual like shahadas that have been taken. But I do think people were very interested.
Now you do this job as a volunteer or as a job?
No, so it's actually a job. It's actually my job.
This is part of a charity?
No, it's just a organization that you have different organizations here, and some of them they focus on people with like drug past. Some of them focus on ex-detainees. Some of them focus on people with personality disorders. And where I worked, a lot of the brothers, they do have different like crosses behind their names, because some of them have personality disorders. Some of them have a past with drug abuse. Some of them have done things that they regret doing. So yes, just different organizations focus on different things, but a lot of the people, they do have the same problems. It's not just that they steal something. Usually there's a bigger story behind why they do certain things.
True.
And I think, especially when it comes to Islam, when you have that cross behind your name by society, Islam can really liberate you from the crosses that people set behind your name.
Well, for the person himself, of course, repenting is a new beginning. But it remains for society to accept that.
Yeah.
Is society accepting?
What do you think?
I think there is a lot of injustice in our world.
And that is because of our limited capacity to really forgive people, or?
Of course. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that if you repent, then that's a new beginning. And there's always a chance to do this before you die.
Yep.
But human beings seldom deal with others in such a forgiving spirit. I mean, you can tell because it's your...
I mean, it can be difficult. It can be difficult, but I do think everyone deserves a second chance, or like even a third chance. or 4th or 5th.
Now, I understand you're also involved in this center.
Yes.
What do you do here? What's your role?
So before, I used to help set up like events, for example, like the Revert's Day, or like we had a iftar for like the neighborhood, for like the non-Muslims to come and eat with us upstairs.
In Ramadan?
In Ramadan, yes. It would be a full house. Like even the mayor, they would come and speak.
MashaAllah.
And you had different stands, so non-Muslims could, like, the women could try on a hijab, or like there were things for children to play with, etc. Yeah, so now I'm just involved with like tarbiyah. So I join the tarbiyah sessions every 2 weeks with the group to see what we can do as a collective to use what we learn here in the tarbiyah sessions for like outside, for like the broader, yeah, the other people.
Have you had a chance to learn Arabic?
Alhamdulillah, I can read Quran because I studied at the Islamic University here in Rotterdam. There's an Islamic University in Rotterdam. Yeah, it's not too far from here.
It's called the Islamic University?
Yeah, it's like a bachelor, so it's like Islamic theology. So when you finish your bachelor's, you can become an imam, and then you have 2 years afterward you can do a master, and you can do, like, for example, become a Muslim psychologist, or like, yeah.
So a part of the courses,
Yeah,
you study Arabic?
Yes, Arabic, even fiqh, hadith, like everything, seerah.
Is this a government university or private university?
I think it's a private university because I think the government is not really happy with it, so they try and give them a bit of a bad name at times. It's like I think it's from associated with like I think Turkish.
It's probably the mother institution is in Turkey.
I think so. I'm not sure. But yeah, alhamdulillah, so I have had the chance to study Arabic. I'm only able to read, alhamdulillah, so I'm able to do that, but I'm not able to speak or like really understand. Maybe some words, but.
Have you been to any Arab country?
I went for Umrah in 2017. With like there was this program where they invited reverts all over Europe to have their first free Umrah or Hajj trip. So I went with a big group from the Netherlands and from other places, Spain, Germany.
Large group.
A large group.
Did you enjoy it?
It was. I've never felt anything like it. It was very, very special. It was heavy. It was like hard because I went there with this thinking that I would get this spiritual high and I would come back all relaxed, but it actually takes a lot for you, like to attend every Fajr prayer, all the prayers, wake up
physically
early.
It's exhausting.
Yes, exactly. But the spiritual high, or like the spirituality that I got from it, my heart felt at ease. So when they say that like the quwwah, like the strength of Mecca is felt, you really feel that. And then the serenity in Medina is also really felt. Different feelings with those two places.
Well, Brother Julian, it's been a great pleasure talking to you.
Jazakallah khair.
Thank you very much.
Jazakallah khair.